think, and what I was pointing to is I think there's a downside of it.
What is that?
I think that there's a downside of people feel like, oh, this is only for, you know, recovering junkies, or it's only, that people feel excluded from it. And I don't feel good about that. I feel like what I do is I teach Buddhism in a very traditional way. And, you know, even my teachers would say, you know, you're kind of conservative.
That's what I noticed you were doing.
Yeah, because, and I am, you know, I'm kind of a conservative Theravadan.
Yeah.
You know, if the Buddha didn't teach it, it's not Buddhism. It's not. So, you know, we can call it Buddhism, but really it's Japaneseism or Chineseism or Tibetanism, but it's not Buddhism if the Buddha didn't teach it. And, you know, sort of. So I come from a pretty conservative.
But isn't it the dangerous strain that Christians get in trouble as well? They say, oh, Jesus said these exact words, and that's all of it. And then there's a whole problem with interpretation over the last 2,000 years of churches. Whereas,
yes,
there can. How you get that?
For sure, there can be definite problems with it.
And how do you address that? How do you handle that slippery, that strange understanding that other cultures, other meditators, or the Buddhists interpret this a different way?
The way that I feel about it is like there's a lot of wonderful teachings out there. You know, there's a lot of wonderful common ground of compassion and kindness and stuff. But I also feel like if we're going to call it this person's teachings, that it should be this person's teachings.
According to whom, though? It's 2,500 years old. I mean, there's some breakdown of language and tradition and translation. And
it's pretty clearly recorded, though, very early on, and kept in the Sri Lankan tradition, in the Theravadan tradition, of what was originally taught. And then, you know, scholars, I mean, there's also hundreds and thousands of years of looking at what was probably the original teachings and what are definitely not, or are later developments. So, you know, there could be some dangers.
Okay. But you stick to that path?
For the most part. Although really, really strict Sutta Theravadans would say that I'm actually not, that I'm liberal. Although the liberals think I'm strict.